Hey guys, this is Mrs. Hall. I'm one of your librarians this year. Welcome to high school. We're going to talk about Sora, a good place to find ebooks online. The reason Sora is going to be really important to a lot of you this year is because of the way we're starting the school year. Some of you will find it much easier to get online books than books physically through the library. So we want to make sure that you're set up for success and you know how to look. And for some of you, depending on your experience with Sora in middle and elementary school, this may just be a refresher. Others, this may be new to you. Maybe you're new to the district, okay? So start off at your portal at Mesquite ISD. That's going to be the best way for you to get there. There are other ways to get to Sora, like through the Horn High School Library website. There's also an app that you can put on your phone or your tablet that's really, really neat. If you need help with that, or if you're struggling with the setup of that, you can always talk to one of us and we will be more than happy to get you set up. Anything to have you reading will make us super happy. So under library, find a book. You'll want to open that up and you'll see this little guy in the digital library. That's Sora. So click on the digital library and you'll see Sora. Now, I wouldn't recommend just typing Sora into Google. It's not going to set you up the way you need to be set up. I'm already logged in here. Sometimes it'll ask you to choose your login information and that kind of stuff. But as long as you're logged into your portal, it should go into it pretty easily for you. If for some reason you're struggling logging in, again, that's where you would talk to your teacher or come see myself or Mrs. Burris and we'll figure out what's going on. So the cool thing about the launching pad for Sora is maybe you're just like, I don't even know what I want to read. I don't know what genre. I have no clue. So you go through here and there's some books that have already been kind of picked out and chosen for you. There's even popular subjects you can look at. Maybe you go and you're like, humor, that sounds fun. Or mystery. I really like mysteries. If you're not a big reader, one thing that we recommend is think about the movies and the television shows you like to watch. What do you naturally gravitate toward? And that'll kind of help you figure out what kind of genre of book you might be the most interested in. Maybe you gravitate toward all of like the murder mystery shows on TV and cold case and all that kind of stuff. You're probably gonna enjoy mystery books. So you click on mystery. And all our mystery books. Now, they're going to be at different reading levels, and I'm going to show you how to kind of refine that. You can go to your preferences, available books, everything. Okay. You can sort it by author, format, audience. Okay. When you go to audience, that's where you'll see how you can sort it. You can go to young adults and it'll take some of those kiddie books out for you. And then you don't have to worry about your search showing you a lot of really young, like first grade and second grade books. You can get to the young adult stuff and the stuff that's going to be more your level. Okay, so let's go back to home screen. Okay, and we will see. Why is it looking like this? Sometimes my computer's a little wonky and I'm going to apologize for that. Okay, we're at the home screen. Okay, so now you've looked and you've explored. Maybe it's given you some great ideas. We have our award-winning book list down here, all sorts of stuff, okay? Let's go to search for a book. Now, sometimes searching for a book will be really easy. You know the exact book you're looking for. Maybe your friend read The Hate You Give and you're like, okay, I've got to read this book. Everyone keeps suggesting it to me. So you can type the exact title of the book in and boom, it'll pop right up, right? But sometimes it's not that clear. You don't really know what you're looking for. So that's when you want to go to the advanced search, okay? The advanced search will give you different options. Maybe author. Sometimes author will be something you'll want to look up. Maybe you read Monster by Walter Dean Myers and you're like, I really, really like his style of writing. So let me just see what else we have out there by Walter Dean Myers. So you click the author and all these awesome books come up by Walter Dean Myers. Okay. if you notice one that has the little, and this is probably, you're going to be like, well, yeah, dumb Ms. Hall, but if you notice the one with the little headphone sets on it, those are going to be audiobooks as opposed to ebooks. Okay. And some people prefer audio, some people prefer ebooks. I prefer a mix, so just whatever works for you. Okay. So let's go back to search for a book and do something a little bit differently. Advanced search. But maybe we don't really know what we want to read. Okay. So we'll go under format. You can choose to audiobooks or ebooks, but you can leave it open for either one if you want to. Subjects, there's young adult fiction, fantasy, that kind of stuff. So maybe I know I want to read a young adult book. Okay. You can choose the language. Audience is already set by our preference, so audience is going to be young adult. But you can go back to your preferences and change that. Interest levels, text difficulty. You can sort it by just available books, okay? You can sort it by read-along ebooks, and you can even by the date entered. So maybe you only want books that were written recently, like within the last 2 or 3 years. You can do that. Once you've gone through all your sorting, then up here under search, maybe you play soccer and you're like, you know what, if I read a book where the main character was a soccer player, it would probably hold my interest. So let's give that a shot. So let's just type soccer in and see what pops up. Okay, so under all of we've got these books under our search criteria that talk about soccer. So we're going, this one, Keeper, looks pretty interested. Okay. Now, if you want to just look and see, you can read a sample. Sometimes the samples just give us an idea of, is this going to be my reading level? Is it not going to be my reading level? Here, let me refresh my settings because they're a little, I'm going to talk to you about this in a minute, but I want you guys to see what it would normally look like. Let's go down with our text scale and publisher's default. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. So this is what it would normally look like before you decided on your personal settings or not. So we're looking and we're reading a little bit and we're like, this is interesting and I can hang with it. The words aren't too big. I don't feel like I don't get it. And I also don't feel like it's too, baby for me either, right? So I'm feeling good about this book. So let's close our sample and let's borrow it. Let's go. Let's do this. Now, this is where you might have to be patient. Sometimes it takes a while for these books to load in, depending on the device you're using and your internet speed and that kind of stuff. So just be patient and give it some time. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I like to mess around with settings. If there's buttons, I like to push them. So let me talk to you about some of these buttons up here. This one will just toggle you back and forth between a one page or the more traditional side-by-side page. So whatever makes you happy is great. There's a search button. Maybe you remember there's a certain part of the book you want to look at or a certain vocabulary word you're looking for. That would be it. If there's a quotation that just really sticks out to you or something that happens in the book that you want to bookmark so you can come back to it and look at it, there's your bookmark, okay? So you can just do that. There is also the settings, okay? So it'll let you scroll back and forth to chapters. Now, I will say Sora is pretty good about syncing your books. And so you get out of Sora for a little while and you come back in, it should automatically throw you to where you stopped reading last. And it works across different devices. So maybe you start reading on your Chromebook, but then you log into the Sora app on your phone. It should put you right where you were reading the book on your Chromebook, even though you're reading it on your phone now. So that's one really cool thing. Sometimes it acts a little silly, but most of the time it works pretty well. All right, readings and settings. This is where what's really going to help you guys out because sometimes it's really hard to read online. I'm kind of blind. So this text right here is a little small for Mrs. Hall. So what I would want to do is take my text scale up to where I feel comfortable. And the cool thing is it changes it in real time, so you can kind of look at it as you go. And then there's different colors. I kind of like this one, but it's a little light. I can't really see it well. That's better, high contrast. That's gonna make Miss Hall happy. And then lastly, you can change your font. Some fonts are easier for people to read than others. One font that's really helpful is this one called Open Dyslexic. If you're dyslexic or you have some reading problems, this will make it really easy, and it's been proven by research that this is a font that's a little bit easier to read for people with dyslexia. All right, and don't get caught up with, if I make the font bigger and everything changes, then it's going to add more pages to the book. It's still the same amount of words. So don't get upset if it goes from a 150-page book to a 300-page book just because you change the settings. They didn't add more words to the book. You're good, okay? So then you click done for your reader settings. Everything's great. If you're ready for the book, you can close it. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, can I have more than one book at a time? Of course you can. What you do is you go to your shelf down here, and the shelf's going to show you your loans, holds, lists, or activities. So if you added something to a list, maybe you're interested in it, but you don't quite want to read it now, then you can do different lists. So what I'll do sometimes, I've got YA reads. I don't have time to read all these books at once, but I know that as a good librarian, I need to get some of these books and read them so I can recommend them to you guys. If you come in and go, hey, Miss, what do I need to read today? And I'll be like, well, let me tell you about it, okay? So on our shelf, the last thing I just want to show you guys is your options on the shelf. You can renew a book. You do have to renew it before it expires. So for a day or two before it expires, you may come back in and renew it. Maybe you're not quite done reading it. So just double check and make sure you're doing that. Return the book. That's the big thing. So maybe you finish the book and you're ready for another book and your shelf is full and you've got to figure out, okay, I've got to return some of these books. Just hit return it, and you're good, and it opens you up to check out another book on your shelf and not have to wait until that book actually just expires. So this is basically Sora in a nutshell. There's some other things that I could discuss with you, but for now, this is Sora. If you have any questions or you run into any difficulties, please don't hesitate to contact us and talk to us. With the quarantine, via email, or maybe ask your English teacher if they'll reach out to us for you, things like that. But we will be eager to help you guys out. So whichever way you decide to get a hold of us will be great. I look forward to an awesome year getting to meet you guys and work with you, and have a great day. Bye.